Die Händler zerschreien sich, als Leute dem, wie man der erzählt, ist viele gegen Hescherik voran an Eize. The merchants uh, um, shout out that according to how they are describing it, even there's even advice against a locust. Melek dois feiren arum die Felder. You put fires around on the fields. That man euch gegen die Frumakis gefunden Etze. So we'll be able to find also some sort of an advice against the overpious folk. Bevet aroisrufen die Feierlöscher und sie abgissen mit Kischkes Wasser. We'll call out the fire brigade and we'll shoot water out of the firehouses. Aber die fromme Jiden fühlen sich das Mal nicht wie einzige verblonjete Schäfflech. But the congregation of pious Jews doesn't feel itself right now like the only like lost little sheep. Und nehmen zurück Siedlen die Asis Panemer, and they begin to curse in response to the Asis Panemer, the something I don't have. What's that?
Arrogant.
Arrogant, yeah.
Arrogant. That's it. Thank you. To the arrogant folk. Bis die Gas wird schwarz von Menschen, until the street is dark with people. Da wächst euch Moschke Zirolnik und legt weg die Meinerloschen, was macht stumm die Schömere Shabbosnickes. Here rises up Moishke Zirolnik, and he sets out a complaint that silences those folk who are Shomrei Shabbos, who had tried to shut down marketing on Shabbos. Via Balken volt zugedrückt, volt ze zugedrückt, as if a balcony had fallen on them, I assume.
A balcony is a ceiling, isn't it?
A ceiling, yeah, a balcony, yeah. As if the ceiling had fallen on them. Erstens, schreit Moritz, sehen im Eis die Shomer Shabbosnickes wie die alte Leid von Bogodelnia. First, shouts out Moritz, it appears to him that these folks, the Shomer Shabbos folks, are like those old folk von Bogodelnia, was man denkt sie voraus zu gehen, a Levaya in Sveshuris, who are paid to walk in front of a funeral in two lines, angetan in breite schwarze Kapeluschen, dressed in broad black hats, and in lange schwarze Manteln, and in long black coats. Zweitens sollen die Frumakes bazollen für die Kremer steieren, Geld, und peulen bei die Hortovnikes, nicht zerreißen kein Pass by the Leachodim Kremer. And secondly, these overpious folks, let them pay the store owners for their taxes, their rent money, and also let them convince the wholesalers not to rice and cane pass. Well, I'm not quite sure how to translate that, to pull any strings.
To overcharge them, to fleece them.
Okay, to fleece, good. The retail sellers. So in other words, let these Shomer Shabbosnikas have to pay for the sorts of things that these storekeepers are paying for on Shabbos. Dem kleinem Kremer und Balmalocha is bitterer von allemen, liarem der Zirolnik. It's more bitter than anyone for the small businessman and the craftsman. Claims Liaremt, he shouts this Cyrilnik. Wie wollt gewinn sehr Ratman in Kehila, as if he were their spokesman in the community. Und drittens, and third of all, schreit noch hecher, he shouts even louder. Ob die fromme Jiden willen mizal hitten Shabbos, if these pious folk want us to observe Shabbos, ta, sollen sie gehen ausbrechen die Scheiben bei die Vilna Rabbonim, for their losen an Agune chasen haben. Then they should go and break the window panes of the rabbis of Vilna, because they allowed an Aguna to get married. Ob die krumme Rukens verschweigen as avere, torn sie dem Zung nit überkehren a viele, wenn eine reichert a Papyrus Shabbos auf den Vilner Schulheif. And if these folks with bent backs choose to ignore and to say nothing about such a sin, then they should not turn their tongue against even someone who smokes a cigarette on Shabbos in public on the Vilna synagogue courtyard. This is a Welt von Ganav and Goslan. This is a world of robbery and thievery. Piradais Moishke Cyrilnik und geht weg mit der gehäubenem Kopf. That's what Moishke Cyrilnik says, and he walks away with his head held high. In Durchhauf, wo man verkauft genutzte Kleider, in the passageway where they sell used clothes, kauft a Samettenreckel und schmust mit die Verkäufer. He buys a velvet short coat, and he chats with the seller. In Reb Lebe Lazer's Haif hat alte Freund, und in Rameles Haif is mit allem a guter Bruder. In the courtyard belonging to Lebe Lazer, he has old friends, and in the Ramayla courtyard, he is everyone's good friend. Umatum is da, und umatum hert men im lachen. He's everywhere, and everyone hears him everywhere, laughing. Fährt seid ihr gewesen, und fährt seid ihr geblieben, Brüder meiner. You've been horses, and you're just remaining like horses, my brothers. Wo sollt die Kille nehmen Geld auf euch weißen die Kellers und verrichten die Treppe, auf reinziehen Elektre und Wasser und euch zu rahmen dem Ipisch? Where should the community acquire money to whitewash the cellar rooms and fix the stairs, to bring in electricity and water and clear away the garbage? As das ganze Geld geht weg auf euch haltende Rabbonim, seeing as all the money goes off to support the rabbis. Farzei net men steiren bei die Lebedike, men reist a viele bei die Teute. For their sake, they are taking taxes by those alive, and they're even grabbing it by those who are dead. Für ein Ort auf dem Besäulen, to pay for a place in the cemetery. Ihr hat denn, Brüder meine, a Verstand, wie viel Rabbonim es seien da in Vilna und wie viel sie kosten uns ab? Do you have any idea, my brothers, how many rabbis there are here in Vilna and how much they cost us? Und wo seien Nod, I'm not sure if that's a misprint maybe, die Dionimlach auf die Vorstadt. I'm going to leave out the word nod. I have no idea what's going on there. Where are the little judges in the suburbs, the Megidim in the Kloizim? Oh, I say it should be Noch. And where, in addition, are all the little judges in the suburbs, the sermonizers in the little shoals, the Prushim, next page, in Goans Klois, the recluses in the Vilna Goans shul, the Orem Bochrim in Ramailas Yeshiva, the poor students in the Yeshiva Ramayla, and the Bankwetscher in the andere Kleising, and those folks who just occupied seats in the other shuls. Avos me bedarf arov veistir. Do you know why you actually need a rabbi? Arov bedarf men soll sagen was me tornet. He's there to tell you what you're not supposed to do. No, I'm a meg alts, but if you're allowed to do everything, I'm a mega fila chasen. If you're even allowed to marry a woman who already has a husband, ta, darf men fressen. What do you need all of these useless mouths to feed? Und als die Rabbonen wollen dem Jidl mit dem Agune zu schäden, wird uns wären besser, fragt der Schachen von die Orma Häfen. A question is raised by a neighbor in the poor courtyards as follows. If the rabbis do separate this fellow and the Aguna, is that going to make it any better for us? Good. End of my portion.
Okay. Shall I carry on?
Yes, Yankov.
Okay. Moishke Zerulniks Zeglitte eigentlich wären noch stechiger und krimmt sich von Verachtung. Moishke Zerulniks red hot eyes become even more piercing as he grimaces from contempt.
Yeah.
Im geht denn in Leben, man soll zerscheiden Mann und Weib. So, how is it? Would it be possible that they should separate a man and his wife?
No. Im geht in Leben. Is it his main intention that they should separate?
Okay.
Is that what he's desiring to the point of death?
Okay, so that's what Moshe Tzerulnik is saying.
No. Oh yeah, he's saying, do you think that it's my deepest desire to separate these folk?
Yeah. Okay. Im geht in Emes. It's so it's his intent is the truth. Für mir allein ist die ganze Geschichte mit der Agune Fliegenpapier. Lacht Moshe Zerulnik. Lacht Moshe und erzählt seine Freund. So, as far as I'm concerned, the whole story is only about the story about the Aguna is like flypaper. Moshe laughs and he tells his friends, as geht stellen a chuppe mit Yiddische Grafina, that he's going to set up a chuppah, he's going to marry a Jewish countess. was hat an eigenem Volvarek. This woman has her own farm. Sie ist ihm verkocht bis über die Euren. So she's mad about him till over her ears. Und wird ihm abhitten wie an Eugenkopf. And she will look after him like the eye in her head. Früher wird sein Paradne Chuppah beim Rabbiner und nachdem wird man hulien auf ihr Povarek. So first there'll be a gala chuppah with by a rabbiner. So the rabbiner is not an Orthodox rabbi, I understand.
Right.
And afterwards, they'll have this huge party on the farm. Geht im Masach on etwas dort a Schlumper, was hat Chasne gehabt mit a kalmenke Chizix und Chuppah hat gegeben an Unterschabes a salmenke Pijix. So it matters it matters to him that it matters very little to him that this a Kalmanka, I don't know what this Chizikus is.
I looked it up. It's derogatory. He's like a little bird or a boy.
Okay. So this Kalman marries a schlumper, a sloppy housewife, and the chuppah is carried out by the secondary shamas, Zalmanke, and the Zalmanke, the brat. I found that in the dictionary. Doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense to me.
Chizik, Chizik, it's a Polish word or a Ukrainian word, meaning a little guy. And he's just these are just derogatory terms. Pijix might mean pisher.
Yeah.
I'll look that one up here.
Okay.
Yeah, Pijik just means the guy in Ukrainian. So
the guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever it is, he's being very derogatory to Coleman Matus and this
Zalman.
the seamstress.
Right.
Der Moel Lapidus buntevet die Kleusen. The Moel Lapidus incites the Kleusen to rebellion. Mit Jahren zurück ist ein darer junger Mann, Kasriel Zellinger, gekommen ken Vilna zu Moel Lapidus mit Tabakosha. So years ago, a thin young man by the name of Kasriel Zellinger came to Vilna to the Moel Lapidus with a request. Soll ihm auslernen die Meloche HaKodesh, weil will werden a Moel in sein Städtel. His request was that Lapidus, the Moel, should teach him this holy work because he wanted to become a Moel in his village. Lapidus hat ihm ausgelernt die Meloche und der junge Mann ist weggefahren. Lapidus taught him the skill, the job, and the young man left. He went away. Mit Jahren später hat Lapidus gehört, als Kasriel Sellinger hat sich hereingezogen in Vilna. Some years later, Lapidus heard that Kasriel Sellinger had moved to Vilna, geöffnet ein Schnittgewölbe und geht auf Brissen. He opened up a dry goods store and he was doing circumcisions. Beide Moelim haben sich euch begegnet, Ponim el Ponim, und Lapidusen ist etwas nicht gefallen, was der amolige, darer junger Mann hat bekommen, a Fett Beichel. These two Moels were met one day, face to face, and Lapidus, he didn't like the fact that this erstwhile thin young man had developed a fet beichel, I can only think of the Afrikaans word, a boep, a fat
big belly.
A big belly. Ihm ist noch weniger gefallen, wenn man hat in Stadt genommen, ausleuden dem Sellinger für seine goldene Hand. And it even was less, he liked it even less when in the town they started praising this Sellinger because of his golden hands. Lapidus hat etliche Mal a Ziegeton mit die Noslecher, wie a Baal Chai, was der schmeckt das Sakona. Lapidus, for several times, he squeezed his nostrils like an animal which senses a danger. Von deswegen ist geblieben ruhig. Nevertheless, he remained calm. Kein Geld für ein Mahl sein nimmt nicht und kein arme Gewinnerins fällen nicht, wellen klecken brissen I für ihm und I für der Sellinger. So he never takes any money for doing the circumcision, and there's no lack of poor women who have given birth. So it will be fine. There'll be enough brisses for him and for Mr. Sellinger. Nor sind der Polotske Dayen hat in Zaretscher Besmedres ausgerufen, als wer es ruft dem Moel Lapidus auf ein Bris, der schächt seine eigenen Kinder. But since the Polotske judge had called out in the Zaretscher study house that whoever calls on the Moel Lapidus to a bris, he is, it says, if he's slaughtering his own children. Hat Kasriel Zellinger Eule Ligdula gewinnt und Lapidus is runter. So since that time, Kasriel Zellinger attained prominence. And Lapidus, his fame went down. Is gelaufen zu Reb Levi Horowitz mit der Gewalt, Halamai der Wilner war der Harabonim der Lost, der Polotske Dayen soll all das atzmo asseren ihm. Der Moel Lapidus le Mishpoches Rekeach. So he ran to Reb Levi Horowitz and shouting at him, yelling at him, why the Vilna Rabbinic Council had permitted the Polotska judge off his own bat to forbid him, the Moel Lapidus, from the family of Rokeach to do brises. Gewusst hat als Reb Levi Horowitz hat dem Polotsker Feind wie a Spinn. He knew that Reb Levi Horowitz hated the Polotska like as much as a spider. Nur zu sein der Steunung hat Reb Levi geantwortet, als der Wad Harabonim sich in dem nicht mischen. But to his surprise, Reb Levi answered that the Rabbinic Council dare not get involved in this matter. Man soll nicht sagen, der Covid von Moel Lapidus und bei die Moira Horaius teurer wie das Leben von jüdischen Kindern. Because one shouldn't say that the honor of the Moel Lapidus is more important than the life of Jewish children. And the Moira Horaius, these are rabbis, important rabbis who can give halachic rulings. A blinder hat gekannt sehen, als bei die Eved ist der Rov von Schleimer Kissens Häuf zufrieden mit dem Polotskers Isser auf den Moel. A blind person could see with hindsight that the rabbi of Shlomo Kissen's Hoif yard was satisfied with the Polotskers Isur prohibition of the Moel.
And this Rav from Shlomo Kissen's Hoif, that's Rabbi Levi Horowitz?
That's Rabbi Levi Horowitz, yeah.
Okay.
Hat Lapidus mehr nicht ausgehalten und geantwortet, als auf ein Oilem ha'emes is Elyonim lemata und Tachtonim lemala. And Lapidus didn't resist, and he answered that in the next world, those who are up are down, and the ones who are down are up. Wer ist dort gesessen eben on, sitzt dorten ganz niedrig. Those who sat up in near the front and near the top, they are sitting low down.
Yeah, it's distinguishing Daw and Dorton. If they're here on top, they're very low.
Yeah. Emes b'nei Aliyah seinen voran sehr weiniglich. Hat dem Rov reingesorgt. So real B'nai Aliyah, people who are tzaddikim, I suppose. I think
yeah, deserving of advancement. Yeah.
Yeah. They are, there are very few of them. And that's, he reprimanded, the rabbi reprimanded him. Es ist doch zu lachen.
He reprimanded the rabbi.
Yes,
Yes, he reprimanded the rabbi, correct. Thank you. Es ist doch zu lachen in die Häufens. Ob Lapidus le Mishpachas Rokeach, was keiner wird auf ihm nicht sagen, als ist nicht kein Lamden, nicht kein Nadven, und als hat, wenn it is, genommen Geld für sein Meleches HaKodesh, ist weniger begelebt von Palotzker Dayan. So it's a laughable in the yards of the shuls that he, Lapidus, from the Rokeach family, about whom no one would say that he is not a learned person, that he's not a generous donor, that he had ever taken money for his holy work of circumcision, and that he should be less believed than the Polotska judge, epis dort azun von ataten ashuster. This Polotska Dayan, who's this has no yichus at all. He's the son of a father who is a cobbler. Und hat Matir gewinn trogen Geld Shabbos, and who had permitted the carrying of money on Shabbos. Nicht machen es Rachmonis zu die hungrige Kinder, not because of feeling sorry for the hungry children in Russland, nor weil allein is in Herzen a Stück Bolshevik. The reason why he said that they could carry money on Shabbos is not because of these poor hungry children in Russia, but because he in his heart is a bit of a Bolshevik. Okay. Michael?
Okay. Demont ist Reb Levi herein in Kas und sich zu schreien, als von der selche Lomdim und Yirei Shamayim wie der Moel Lapidus, ob Rabbonim allemal gelitten, mehr wie von Amei Harotzim und Apikorshim. At that time, Rabbi Levi became angry and yelled at from such wise people and God-fearing people as the Moel Lapidus. The rabbis have always suffered more than from ignorant people and unbelievers. Und Gott der Wilner war der Rabbonim zu Polotskatayan Roisatanas. And although the Wilner uh, Rabbinic Council has many complaints against the Polotsker rabbi, Afal Pichein is niet gehecht Abla zu sagen auf ihm, als is in Herzen a Stück Bolshevik. And although they have complaints again, they don't agree with him, and well, they disagree with him. But nevertheless, it's an unheard of sin to say that he is um, a Bolshevik at heart. Chas v'shalom, God forbid, when es is Takazer should die Etzem-Geschichte allemai der Moel hat sich nicht erschrocken, wenn man hat ihm angesagt, als der Beschnittener Ben Zocher is in a Sakona. And it is really suspicious the that the main story is actually suspicious why the Moel right at the beginning didn't wasn't frightened when they told him that the circumcised boy is in danger.
Lechaluten is absolutely.
Absolutely, thank you. Simenas dosis by him nicht das erste Mal, an indication that this isn't the first time that this has happened. Petrus ist von Rova rausgelaufen an aufgekochter. Lapidus left the rabbi boiling with anger. Ich will es ihm keinmal nicht mochel sein. I'll never forgive him for this. Hat sich abgeschworen, wenn ich weg sich opreden von Herz war Rab Asher Anshel. So that's what he swore to himself, and he went to relieve his feelings to Rabbi Asher Anshel, was es von sein Schwager Rabbi Levin weiter wie Himmel von Erd, who is as different from his brother-in-law Rabbi Levi as heaven is to earth. Und von deswegen hat Moel bei sich abgemacht, nicht zu dermonen, Rab Asher Anshel, mit kein ein Wort dem Polotsker Dayan und euch nicht Rab Levi Hurwitz. But nevertheless, the Moel decided it to himself, abgemacht zu sich, not to mention to Rabbi Asher Anshel, not with a single word even, the Polotsker rabbi, and also not about Rabbi Levi Hurwitz. Sagt doch, als wie die Rabbonim sollen eine auf die andere nicht sein, Feuer und Flamme. He saw that even though the rabbis were not in agreement with each other, is wenn es kommt zu Balabos, seinen sie Yad Echad. But when it comes to dealing with a housekeeper, they are united. Lapidus hat Rab Asher Anshel abgestellt in Gas, wenn ist gegangen in der Früh von Davenen mit einem schweren Tallesack unter den Ohren. Lapidus stopped Rabbi Asher Anshel in the street when he was returning from prayers with his heavy prayer tallis bag under his arm. Sehr Torah v'zeh Sarah hat him der Moel gefragt. Is this the Torah and is this the reward. I mean, that's what I believe they said to Rabbi Akiva when the Romans were doing him in.
I
Is
think
that
it's when yes, that's what Akiva, not Akiva, what Moshe in a dream saw when he was shown Rabbi Akiva. Yeah. Uh,
okay?
yeah,
Oh, so it was in a dream, not the people around who said that.
that's right. It's Moses saying, "What? Who will be speaking my words?" And he can't understand a word that Rabbi Akiva is saying. And then he later, in the same dream, as I recall, sees the tortures against Rabbi Akiva, and he says, "Zo Torah v'zo schara."
Okay. Um, the Moel asked him, Schein über 30 Jahre, wie läuft darum von Yoledet to Yoledet, ohne Pruttergeld. It's 30 years already that he's going from one woman giving birth to another and not taking a penny for it. Und woman darf bringt noch auf Fleisch, Wein, auf Kiddush. And where it's necessary, he even brings along a bottle of wine for Kiddush. Heint, wie viel Gerim hat mal gefahren und nachdem gepravet seine Chassanas? How many uh, converts that he circumcised and afterwards arranged their marriages for them. Alle Moalim, alle Moalim von Arum Vilna und Grodna seinen doch seine Talmidim. All the Moels from around Vilna and Grodna are all his pupils. Hat einmal abgetan an Narigkeit. Once he did something foolish and ausgelernt Miller euch dem Katiel Zellinger, and he taught this Catriel Zellinger how to do a circumcision. Weiß, dass wird auf dem Olam Haemes auf dem Abgeben den Vercheshbon für Auslernen die Meloches HaKodesh als Am Haaretz Gamur. He knows that in the world to come, he will have to completely account for teaching this holy work to such a Amhaaretz, ignorant, completely ignorant man. Mer not more, hota Veränderung. He does have justification. Hat es gemeint, L'Shem Shamayim. He did it for God, L'Shem Shamayim, for God's sake. He did it not for money, but for duty, for religious reasons. Hat doch nicht gekannt, sein, als der Zellinger mit sich hereintreiben in Vilna. He could not have foreseen that the Zellinger would creep into or gather himself into Vilna and halten offen sein Schnittgewölb als Stick in Shabbos, and that he would keep his dry goods store open even a little bit into Shabbos. Aber jetzt werden alle Weisen, es ist in Fairness, but now when everyone knows this and sees it, is viel osten es im Gott sein Amol by Yiddish Kinder. How come that he's still allowed to be Moel for Jewish children? Rab Asher Anshel is gewohnt. Rab Asher Anshel was used to it, as beim Zurückgehen von Davenen, that on his way back from prayers, verhalten ihm zeitenweise, Eden und erzählen ihm die Säules. He is held back at times by Jews who want to tell him their secrets, or they haben ihm nicht gekannt erzählen in Beis Din Stub, that they were not able to tell him in the Beis Din rum, wenn sie seinen sich gekommen hätten, when they actually came to him at the Bethlehem to get divorced. Aber das Mal hat Rabbi Asher Anshel sich schon da hat reingehabt in Gitta Toib's Gessel, but this time Asher Anshel was already into Gitta Toib's street, wo wohnt und gehat als gehofft, als auf Heint is nicht so geworden, and was hoping that today he would be saved from these questions. But aber kein Mazel nicht, but he didn't have any luck. When auf Azab Baltanas,
Alpina.
Baltaina, hat sich bechlal nicht gericht. And he certainly didn't expect this complainant. Steht auf von die Gitten mit abgelosten Augen. So the rabbi who's in charge of divorces um, stands with downcast eyes, zückt die Bohr, plucks at his beard und hebt sich unter auf die Spitzenfinger von die Füße and lifts himself up on his toes, on tiptoe. Bet Emetzer mattert ihm zu lang und hat nicht unter dem Hand sein, Jev Raiskia Encyclopedia. When someone troubles him too long and he doesn't have that encyclopedia at hand that he uses when people come to his office, dort reinzugucken, to look into it, springt unter Bitz Kedusha. He jumps up as when you say Kedusha, nicht reinzuweisen sein Ungeduld, not to show his impatience. Was länger der Moel Lapidus Barret sein gewesenem Talmid Zellner, the more the Moel Lapidus scandalizes about his previous pupil Zellinger, als öfter und hecher springt Rabbi Asher Anshel unter, the more he bounces, bis geht Sofa afraid, until eventually he asks, "Ir hota papiros, can you give me a cigarette?" Or you've got a cigarette. Somebody else's turn.
Lapidus öffnet sein silberne Papyrosnitze und raucht unter dem Rob a Papyros und bald angezündeten Schwebele. Und bald angezündeten Schwebele. Der Rob rächert und der Moel redt weiter aus, kol davar asur auf sein Talmid Zellinger. So Lapidus opens his silver
Cigarette case.
I forgot the word cigarette, believe it or not. Cigarette case, and he hands over to the rabbi a cigarette, and then he's putting on he's lighting a
match.
A match, yeah, thank you. Der Rov rächert und der Moel, the noise disturbs me. Der Rov rächert und der Moel redt weiter aus, kol davar asur auf sein Talmid Zellinger. The rabbi smokes, and the Moel continues talking about everything that is forbidden, and is talking about is to his student Zellinger.
About his student Zellinger.
A what?
About his student. He's complaining about Zellinger to Asher Anshel.
I see. I don't know the story here. Okay. Ist doch ein Ansetzer. Hat sein Schore abgeschrieben auf den Weibsnamen und die Balechäuves a ruhig gestellt auf Feig. Is an Onsetzer. Onsetzer is something like a printer.
No,
No, bankrupt.
yeah, he's pawned everything.
I see. Okay. He wrote. He transferred into his wife's name everything that he has, and so so it's like he cheated he took everything away from the creditors. He left the creditors with nothing. Rein rausgestellter Feig, it's like he gave them nothing.
Gave them the finger.
The finger, that's a Feig, yeah. Die arme junge Leid, was kommen bei ihm lernen Mille, tut euch snacket. Those poor young men that are coming to him to learn how to do circumcision, he undresses them completely. Weniger wie 500 Zlotes nimmt nicht. Und das Geld verlangt in Dollar. I believe Tutero is naked. I think he takes a lot of money out of them. He leaves them. He leaves them
Right.
with nothing.
He leaves them with nothing.
He leaves them with nothing. That's why, yeah. Less than $500, 500 zlotes, he doesn't take from them. There's a minimum payment right away of 500 zlotes. Und das Geld verlangt in Dollar, nicht in zlotes. And he demands that the money should be in dollars and not in zlotes, which is a Polish matbea. Yeah.
Zloty, it's worth 30 groschen.
Okay. Very important for us to know, yeah. Geht darum über die Klinikes und wird nicht Ascher. He moves around the clinics and he becomes rich. אפילו zu אביון geht nicht auf Fabrice, ob bezahlt ihm nicht. He doesn't even go to poor people for circumcision if they don't pay him. Mit einem ungerabeten Geld, ungerabeten Geld fordert kein Lodge und bringt von dort Stoffen, Schadnis, Woll und Flachs, Gewebs in einem. So with this money that he gets, that money that he squeezed out money, he travels to lodge and he brings from there a material, sharpness that's a combination of materials that are forbidden from the Torah, and that is wool and flax is cotton.
No, flax is flax.
Flax is flax. Okay, but wool and cotton are also sharpness.
I don't think so.
No.
Specifically, it's wool and linen.
Linen, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's wool and linen mixed up together. Und verkauft sie bis ein Stück in Freitag zur Nacht. And he sells them to the end. He sells them completely on Friday night.
Oh, until a little bit into Shabbos.
Until, okay. Bis ein Stück, until a little bit into Shabbos. Thank you. Ihr rot noch ein Papyrus, fragt der Rav. You have another cigarette, the rabbi asks. Lapidus ist stark zufrieden, was Rab Asher Anschel ist in Gerät euch zu hören, ein bisschen Sof für ein bisschen Tabak. Lapidus is very happy that Rab Anschel is ready to hear him. That's is it to kind of examine him?
No, Oiseherin to listen to his complaint,
Okay, but Oisern isn't it also?
to hear him out.
Yeah, okay. Uh, he's happy that he wants to hear him for a little bit of tabak. Ist mechabed mit noch a Papyrus und erzählt weiter, als äußer was der Sellinger ist ein Ansetzer, redt man auf ihm noch andere schreckliche Sachen. So he is treating him with another cigarette and he tells more that not only is this Zellinger is a, what did you say an
Oh,
onsetzer
he's
was?
bankrupt. Bankrupt is the usual translation there.
For onsetzer is a bankrupt?
Someone who's bankrupt, yeah.
Okay, they are talking about him other terrible things. They're saying about him other terrible things. Man sagt auf ihm, als zu tun mit Arlaestes. Rahman litzlan. They say about him that he is dealing with the what comes out of the circumcision.
No, I don't think so.
What is that?
That's uncircumcised women. That is non-Jewish women.
Non, yeah,
An
non-Jewish.
Yeah,
Arel-
I understand. Wait, okay. Arelistus. Okay. Rahman litzlan. It's God forbid.
God save us.
God save her. Yeah, okay. Afazelche wie sagt die Gemore, Aboel Aramis Kanain pogim bo. About people like him, the Gemara says that he who has relations with a non-Jewish woman, zealot people hurt him. Wenn in Vilna wollte sich gefunden a Kanai, that's an extremely religious person, wie Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron Cohen, wollte dem Zellinger aufgestochen auf a Spieß für Mezane sein. If Marsha, can you give me one more line from her? Yeah. If in Vilna there would be a zealous person like Pinchas ben Eliezer ben Aaron Cohen, ben Elazar, that's but that's a biblical figure. He would have stabbed that Zellinger for fornicating like that, for this transgression.
I looked it up. This is a quote from Mishnah Sanhedrin 9. And it's exactly that. Haboel Aramis Knoin Pogein Bo.
Okay. You get an A.
For using Safaria.
Yeah. Ihr hört noch ein Papyrus, fragt wieder Asher Angel. You have another cigarette? Rabbi Asher Angel asks again.
You remember that Usher Anshel, when he's listening to the parties of a get, he just lets them talk and talk and talk. Meanwhile, he just looks in his encyclopedia just to pass the time, because he knows that people will eventually stop talking. And so he's very much like Reb Yosefel in the Kasrulivka stories by Shalom Aleichem. He just lets people talk. Got another, I'll listen to you. Got another cigarette?
Yeah, but actually, isn't it supposed to try and make Shalom Bayit and be more active in
Perhaps,
helping?
but he waits until people are finished talking.
Yeah, also, I think that the stories have become so redundant for him that he doesn't care anymore. He knows already what they're saying. Okay. Lapidus said, as der Rov ist stark nervös, nur es ist noch als folgt mich ein Gang zwischen ihm und sein Schwager Levi Horowitz. So Lapidus sees that the rabbi is very nervous, anxious, and it still there's a long way to go. There's still a great distance between him and his father-in-law, Levi Horowitz.
Yeah,
Brother-in-law.
For Michagang is a long distance.
Well, it's used as an expression meaning something is very difficult. So there's great difficulty between, I think.
Yeah, okay, that too. Yeah, okay.
Okay, Shvoger is a brother-in-law, not a father-in-law,
Right.
isn't it?
Yes.
So father-in-law is what?
Schwer.
That is true, thank you, yeah. Habt wieder heraus sein Papyrusnitze, בכובד גדול, und sieht, als rot nicht mehr. So he picks up his again his cigarette holder, and he says with like with great honor of of course. And then he realizes that he doesn't have any more cigarettes. Darf man nicht, sagt Rab Asher Enschel, Abräugeser. Beruhigt ihm der Moel, soll sich nicht mit Zaher sein. So the Moel is trying to calm him down, that saying that he shouldn't be, he shouldn't worry about that. He shouldn't be sad for that.
Yeah, you didn't translate the previous Darfmanet.
Oh, yes, sorry. Darf man nicht so Rab Anshel Abräugeser. So it's not necessary. Rab Eshel is saying angrily. So now the moral is trying to calm him down, and he says he shouldn't be sorry. He shouldn't be upset because of that. Ot wetter a Sprungton zu der Brutke auf den Rog und bringen a ganz Speckel. So he will jump over to that store and bring a whole package, a whole pack of those. Aber Asher Enschel entferim a verchmoreter as recheren offen nichteren Herzen is gar nicht so gesund. So Rav Asher Anshel is answering him upset. Well, that smoking on an empty stomach is not at all that healthy. Der Moel is nivel v'nishtomem. The Moel gets scared and surprised. Der Rebbe hat noch nicht übergebissen. The rabbi hasn't yet eaten?
Notice it's in the third person. That's extremely formal.
Yeah. That's how we used to speak to our teachers in Israel. המורה אמר, you talk to your teacher, המורה אמר לי שאלך הביתה, yeah. In Hebrew, we used to do that. Wenn, ob ich gekannt überbeißen, als ich gehe erst von Davnen. When could I eat if I am just coming back from praying?
And there's this custom not to eat until you have finished davening. So in the morning, first comes davening and then comes breakfast.
Uh-huh. Und Rav Asher Enschel, der größer Noach Labrios, platzt daraus mit Kas. So Rav Asher Enschel, he who is so
Patient.
so pleasing people pleaser, or very with very pleasant temper.
Even tempered.
Even tempered, okay. He explodes with anger. Ihr weiß Londes und red mit Chazal, nur der Mama Chazal, als ein Mensch ist nicht mekane sein Sohn und Talmid, hat ihr vergessen. Und ihr hat euch vergessen dem Dien, als ein Moel meg seiner viele a Toter. You know about studying, learning, Torah, and you're quoting our sages, but that saying by our sages that if about if a person is not zealot about his son and his student, you forgot.
I think
And you
Makana is envious.
envious. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Und ihr habt euch vergessen dem Dien, as a moel make seiner viele daughter, and you also forgot the rule that the moel can be a daughter. And that I forgot. I did not look it up. I don't
Even
know.
even a Tatar can be a moil. A Tatar is either a person of the Tatar group, or it could mean
Yeah.
a quack doctor.
I thought it was a Greg doctor.
A quack doctor, yeah, it's another meaning of
Quack
Tatar.
doctor, yeah.
That even a Tatar can be a moil.
Yeah. Because the Tatar group is a Tatar. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds like, it seems like it's a quack doctor.
Yeah.
Der Rav geht weg, ein Aufgeregter, und Lapidus der Field als Weitec in plombierten Backton, wie unter der goldene Koronke wollt angerissen a Geschwür. So the rabbi is walking away angrily, and Lapidus feels pain in
his molar that has been filled. Plumba
yeah,
is lead.
plombe. I know plombe is a feeling of for a tooth. So they feel he feels pain in the cheek of that tooth that is filled, that was filled before. Wie unter der goldene Koronke wohl angerissen a Geschwür. As if under the golden crown there's a wound that is bothersome. Gesehen als bei die Rabbonim kann gar nicht poren, oder sich genommen zu die Balebadim. When he saw that he cannot he cannot convince the rabbis, he starts to approach the house owners, the rich people. Ist קודם כל weg in der Retscher Bes Midrash und gefragt bei die dortige Balebatim. Sie wissen, als statt mit jedem Lachen von Zaratscher Bes Midrash Alemaimen halt dort verareben dem Reb David Keselver, dem Stieg Bolschewik, die Zaratscher dem Stieg Bolschewik. Okay. He first of all went to the study house of Zaretcher, and he asked over there the house owners, the local house owners there, if they know that a whole town with Jews is laughing, making fun of the study house of Zareche, because they are keeping Reb David Kozelver as a rabbi. That Rabbi David Kozelver, who's them shtick Bolshevik, that's another way for saying that goy.
Well, no, he's complaining that he really is a Bolshevik. This is at the time of the Russian Revolution. So
yeah, but how is Reb David a Bolshevik?
Well, the fact that he's on the side of the poor folk in general.
I got it.
And,
So
and,
he's
and the
political.
fact that
okay, so
it really is political.
He's political. Okay.
And Moshe Cyrulnik called him a Bolshevik. That's where
Right.
it originates.
Because he had allowed Jews to carry money on Shabbos to bring charity for the starving kids in Russia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe this is a good point to stop.
Yeah, okay.